Hello again, elephant sewers. So hopefully you have your tail and your ears all sewn up. And now we're going to begin with the body. We are going to start sewing under the chin right here. And we're going to go all the way around till we get to here when we're going to stick in the tail. We're going to sew that in as we go. And then when we get to about here, we're going to add the belly piece. If it's too hard for you to hold this together while you're sewing, please pin it. You could pin here and here for starters, or maybe even here. Anything to keep your two pieces together. So, you know what? I think I've shown this in some other videos, but I'm going to show it here too. This is how to make a hairy spider knot. You're going to wrap the thread around your finger twice. Oops, let's do this finger. And then you're going to push it off the end. If it doesn't work the way you want it to, you can try sucking on your finger first. But that is a hairy spider knot. And we can use that kind of knot because we're going to hide it on the inside of our work. So we're going to start under his chin, right here. And we're going to do blanket stitch all the way around. And Lillian is here with us today, and she is going to read us a story while we work on this stitching.
The Elephant's Nose. Many years ago, it is said that elephants had small trunks with stubbed noses. One year it did not rain for many months. The ponds and lakes began to dry up, and the streams had very little water. All the animals in the forest were very thirsty and desperately searching for a source of water. A river used to flow not very far away from the forest, and an elephant decided to go there in search of water. Walking slowly, he reached the river. There lived a bright green crocodile in the river. As he saw the elephant, he cried, "Go away! Water is already scarce here. If you start drinking, what will be left for me?" The elephant knew it was a risk to pick a fight with the crocodile, so he decided to come back to the river when the crocodile would be sleeping. In the same river, there also lived a shiny green toad. When the crocodile would be swimming across the river, the toad would hop onto his back and enjoy a ride. Over time, the crocodile was annoyed with giving free rides to the toad. Many times he had tried to shake the toad off his back, but in vain. "Ha ha ha," the toad would laugh. One day, the crocodile was resting on a rock. Finding this to be a good opportunity, the elephant went to the river silently and began to drink. Just then, the toad jumped onto the crocodile's back, disturbing his slumber. The crocodile was irritated. He began to swim around the river and shake his body violently. "Now I shall get rid of you," he cried at the toad, but the toad was unmoved. Suddenly, the crocodile noticed the elephant. "How dare you drink from my river when you were told not to?" he cried. Unable to get rid of the toad, the crocodile decided to vent all his anger on the elephant. He caught the elephant's trunk and began to pull him into the river. The poor elephant started to pull back, crying, "Let go of me! Please, let go of me! My nose hurts!" But the crocodile showed no mercy. Then, with a mighty jerk, the elephant succeeded in freeing his trunk from the crocodile. But in tug-of-war, the elephant's nose had become really long. Angry, the elephant sucked all the water from the river. Then he sucked some mud and sprayed it all at the crocodile and the toad. Since then, it is said, elephants have had long trunks, and crocodiles and toads are not bright green anymore. The end.
Thank you, Lillian. So now that I've sewn my trunk here, I'm actually going to stuff it, because if I wait too long, it's going to be hard to get wool down into the tip of that little trunk. So I need something pointy, so you could use a chopstick or a pencil, a thin pencil. I happen to have a pair of sharp scissors here. If you have sharp scissors, be very careful with them. If you poke too hard, you can poke a hole in your wool. So I'm going to stuff some wool down there, and I'm going to push it all the way to the end with my scissors. I'm going to stuff a little more here. want this elephant's trunk to be nice and firm, because he used to have a stubby nose, but now he's got a long nose. We just heard the story about that. That story was from the Assam people, which are traditional people in Africa. And I actually don't know where they're from. I'm going to have to look that up and get back to you. Africa is a very large continent. So I'm going to stuff to about there, and then I'm going to keep on sewing. And when you're sewing, I don't know if you just saw that, but the tail of my sewing just got a little caught. So make sure your tail is shorter. Not too short because you don't want it to come undone. I'm holding my needle right here when I pull so that my needle doesn't come unthreaded. You get pretty tired of rethreading your needle if you don't hold it right there where the thread is. Oops, sorry. Keep going out of the frame of view. I need to get a better setup here for my camera. It's hard for me to see it. My thread is getting a little short, so I'm going to knot it. And I'm going to thread a new one. And to knot it, I'm just going to do a couple of blanket stitches in the same place. Oops. And then I'm going to hide my thread on the inside. Thread is being uncooperative. Probably because I'm on camera. One of these days I'll get some editing software downloaded, and then you guys won't have to watch every single minute. Okay, there we go. Now I'll start with a new thread. If you know any good elephant stories, please share them with me. I like a good elephant story. Excuse me. Oops. So go ahead and sew until you get to here. And put your tail in and keep sewing. I need to grab a glass of water. So sew until you get to here, and then put the tail in, and then sew to about here, and then come on back for video 3, and I'll show you how to put the belly piece in.